Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today at the Overtime Cabaret. My name is Jules. We've got some of our performers over here on the side. We've got Jake, we've got Dyhanara, and we've got Joyous. We're going to be doing some performing for you tonight. I am also your host, but I think I'm going to kick this show off with a little song. So let's see. What was I about to play? That's right. This is a song called Swallow Me Whole. You winked at me before I even knew your name. I lay down willingly in the palm of your hand. That look in your eye says that you want to swallow me whole. Yeah, I think you want to swallow me whole. Swallow me whole. Swallow me whole. Come on and swallow me whole. I can't let you live without having one more taste. I tug at your sleeve, but you're not giving it away. You can tell from my hands I want to swallow you whole. Yeah, I think I want to swallow you whole. Swallow you whole. Swallow you whole. I wanna swallow you whole. Come on and swallow me whole. Want you to swallow me whole. Come on and swallow me whole. Oh, oh, oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Woo!
you. Thank you for that is one of my very few just straight up for fun, no political issue, no social justice, just like a little love song. So, well, let's be honest, it's a lust song more than it is a love song, but that's all right. That's all right. Okay, so next I am going to bring up to the stage a wonderful poet, a lady I like very much. We can all hear a little bit from Miss Joyous Windrider.
Hello, everyone. So, Jules, are we doing our? Shall I do both poems right now?
If you want to, sure.
So, okay. Yeah. So I have two poems. One of them is written down, and the other one isn't yet. And I'm going to start with the one that's written down. So, I did a workshop with the playwright Virginia Grice, and it was a manifesto workshop. And this manifesto of mine came out from that workshop, and it's called Body Manifesto. So this is my body manifesto. My body was born a defenseless child. Its screams and cries ignored, called names, slapped, shoved, knocked down, locked up, labeled, and laughed at, corralled, groomed, discarded, forced to eat what it didn't want and recite what it didn't choose to speak, hands placed upon its budding form to exorcise demons from it. It was woken in the middle of the night, violated and humiliated, and also in daylight, hungry and lost inside a maze of towering, rigid structures erected to dehumanize, bend and shape, separate and place like cogs in a wheel. Its voice was silenced. My body is a refugee with its own unique story. So I will take my place at the dinner table. Not at the children's table, nor at the dog's bowl. I will speak this broken language, not my own, loud and bold, not whisper in corners of the house or under the covers while everyone sleeps, but I will tell its stories at meal times and in the street. I'll share them like they're 2 small fishes and 5 loaves of bread so that someone else hungry might eat. My body is my motherland, and I will take it back. I've returned from hovering around its perimeter, shivering and cold, afraid to enter in and feel the devastation of cruel fire, the prickly sensation of thawing heat. I've come to reclaim my home, to survey the land scorched and broken and discover the places that don't ache or scream of trauma, little patches of peace in my body, of green land, like maybe in my pinky finger or in the space above my breast, and I will set a hammock there. I'll spike a tent. I'll build a cabin there, a true homestead, while I reclaim the pillaged and burning, rediscovering my body with its networks of caves filled with buried treasure and pockets of deep flowing grief stored in my joints, my belly, my vocal muscles, like golden sediment in underground streams. There are masses of moments I've yet to look at, to feel fully. My body will graciously open the treasure box I need next when it is time. And I will scream the cry, shake the tremble, pound the anger, and release it back to the earth, freed and transformed. I am ready. I've forgotten how to live in my body. So I will look to those who remember. I will look to the baby. I will look to the trees and plants they remember. I will look to Mother Earth, because no matter how others try to subjugate her, she moves and dances and thrusts and parries like a free woman. And ultimately, she will win. And ultimately, she will heal. My DNA retains ancient memories of how to be human, and so I will reorient. Feel my feet on the ground, my toes on the earth. I will learn how to dig. I will learn how to dig. I will learn how to dig my toes, my hands, my intentions back into the earth. I will befriend my body. Curiosity, a favorite tool, as I listen and learn to trust my impulses and reactions. I will validate my experiences, because there really once was a tiger here, and it was in my grandmother's eyes and my father's voice and my uncle's laugh. And yes, I still startle at the rustle of midnight grass, and yes, a part of me still paces in its cage. But my body is a compass, and it will show me the way. So when my body says go, I will go. When my body says no, I say no. And I will slow down. I will notice my breath. I will allow my eyes to caress the surface of my surroundings and really look. I will see, and I will remind myself there is no tiger here. Mama, you are safe in this moment. So live in this moment. Breathe this moment. This is where you place your tent, right here, in this moment. I am the home of revolution, so I will tune in deeply to my body right now. And I will love my body. Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love that. I identify so much with that, Joy. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next one is going to be a little improv. There's 3 of us here in the audience. And you know what? This time Maybe I'll add a word or two if I want. I'm
Do
going
it.
to go ahead and ask you guys for some words, some things that remind you of the subject that I'm about to choose. And I think I've been thinking a lot about family. I've been thinking a lot about connection and um, just let's go in that area. So, connection. What do you think about when you think of connection and the people that you care about? Family, even.
Love.
Dinner.
Yeah. Food, generally.
Hugs.
Drink. Specifically whiskey.
Everybody.
And what about those that you've been missing? I mean, we're far away from each other, and um, you know, things are different now. So when you think about that, what comes to mind?
I miss laughing together.
Hugs.
Yeah. I am touch starved as a
And
motherfucker right now.
Same AF.
Yeah. All right, and I guess the last one, just to try to get a couple more words. You know what? Give me some random words. How about that?
Paintbrush.
Okay.
Football.
Okay.
Oh Lord. Apple slices.
Apple slices. Oh, I don't know.
Cardigan.
Cardigan. I got this in the background, so I'll say flowers and
There you go.
wallpaper. Okay. Anything you want in there? Yeah, I made it easy.
Tacos.
Hmm?
I said tacos.
Tacos. Okay.
Of course. Always.
Okay. Um, it's like a wisp of a note on a breeze that I felt when we last met for tacos. As a family, it was breakfast time, and the babies were there. And we laughed and we told the old stories, the stories of our grandparents, of the places we had been, and the jokes that had been made, and the injuries that happened. I remember that day, the wallpaper, the flowers, and the cardigan that wrapped around my shoulders as I held my little boy in my hand, waiting as he ate apple slices as people spoke about football, always football, the Cowboys, every single Sunday. And I was there with my paintbrush in my mind, trying to find my way through as a new mother, as a daughter, as a niece, as a granddaughter. How does one hold on to those roles and find their way through when you can't touch each other? When you mourn in separate cars and you wait to see each other to tell the stories once again, how will we hold on to them? How will we lose them? Will our children know their cousins' faces the way we did as we laughed together and spread fireflies across our shirts? The hugs when wrapped around each person, the hugs that were safe and sometimes not so safe. This was family. I remember the drinking, the whiskey. I remember the cheers. I remember feeling bold and proud and tough and strong because I was part of this family. And family is something that we celebrated in every way we could, with food, with the dinners we made. We celebrated our love, the love that came from roots that we'd forgotten, that flow up through our great grandparents and on up to us and the children now. We hold them up high and we send pictures to each other. We post posts and we say, look, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it grand? And I wonder if the children will know the stories that we carry in our hearts. Sometimes I don't know how to say I love you or I'm sorry, but I miss you. I miss you. The wisp of the wind and the songs and the wallpaper and the cardigan and the tacos and the damn football. I miss you. Thank you.
Yeah. That was great. Thank you so much, Joy.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
Thank you for being here. This has been your second cabaret. This is our last one. So thank you so much for being a part of it.
Absolutely. This
I'm
was a
going to
lot of
go
fun.
ahead and bring the very funny Jake Yarbrough to the stage.
Hey, how's everybody doing? So someone just literally rang my doorbell about like in the middle of that last poem you were doing. It was yeah, it was a little weird, but it's okay. I'm here to do comedy now. So a little bit about myself, guys. I consider myself white trash. I do consider myself white trash. Mainly because if I moved this green screen, you would see the shambles that is my life in the background. Yeah, I've had to accept that. And, you know, I've realized that, like, I have to accept that I'm white trash, you know? Like, anytime I hear Kid Rock, I gotta be like, my roots, you know? It's just something I have to deal with. I got White Claw in my veins. I can't deny it no more, okay? If this comedy thing doesn't like pan out, I could just, you know, always grow a ponytail and teach Taekwondo down at the Y, you know, just be like, yeah, kid, watch out. I could be your next stepdad, you know, like, because I care about my students and their mothers. But yes, like, one thing though is while we're on the subject of being white trash, can we separate white trash and Trump supporters? Yeah, please and thank you, because we didn't vote. We have warrants. We know better. We know that whole rigmarole. So my dad hates it whenever I talk about being white trash. He's just like, son, we're not white trash anymore, okay? I'm just like, first off, Dad, we're not white trash anymore. That's a double negative. Secondly, I just witnessed you shoot a deer off the back porch with a goddamn crossbow. If that's not like some Oklahoma shit, I don't know what is. It's ridiculous. But no, I was in the military for 6 years. 6 glorious years. It's okay. I hope none of y'all are applauding for me because I didn't do it for you. Yeah. I was just like, oh, they'll pay for my college, right? And then next thing you know, they're like, nope, go overseas to Iraq. It's like, this is not what I signed up for. It's like if the Army was the worst Travelocity gnome I ever ran into. It's like, yeah, I want to go to the beach. And they're like, here's the desert. It's just like the beach, but with no water. You can still play beach volleyball. Just watch out for IEDs. It was a glorious time. Yeah, glorious time. But I get a lot of questions being a veteran. You know, I get a lot of questions. And like, because there's a lot of things, it's hard to adapt back to normal life. Like before I was in the military, I loved video games. I love playing video games. But now, being a veteran, anytime I play video games, I'm like, I gotta win this for America. While the 31 gamer in me is just like, Jake, let's be honest, you've had your ass handed to you by a 11-year-old from South Korea for the whole last week. Like, I don't think you're gonna go pro. You know, like you can't even cuss at the kid at that point. You're just like, fuck you. And he's just like, yes, that's my name. And you're just like, fuck. Do you teach classes? I just really would love to go pro. So don't forget to donate to me so I could pay fuck you for this week's of classes. That would be great. Be great. It's either that or groceries, one of the two. Let's roll the dice, figure out which one it is. But yeah, there's been some things I've had to adjust to in life with being a veteran. And one of those things is just like some of the questions. Like one thing is like people always want to be like, oh, did you kill anybody? I hate that question. I really do. In fact, I got that question on a Tinder date one time. I was like, oh, it says here on your Tinder profile that you were in the military. Have you killed anybody before? I looked at her right into her eyes, right into her soul. And I asked her, have you ever done anal before? She was flabbergasted, like, oh, I can't believe you just asked me that. And I'm just like, great. I'm glad. Because now that we have both had an awkward question, can we just enjoy this meal that I bought with my benefit money? Yeah. Just saying, I don't feel like this is a conversation that you should have over tiramisu. But I was I do have to say that's not the weirdest question though. The weirdest one is when it comes to video games. Everyone's just like, does Call of Duty piss you off at all? And no, not really. Like, if anything, it would be like, oh, because it's not realistic. It's like, yeah, because hiding behind a rock for a few seconds isn't gonna, fix a stab wound. You know what I mean? That's not gonna. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? I kind of just wish they had a couple realistic games. Like, what if they had one that was like Call of Duty, VA Warfare, where you fight for your benefits, I would totally play that game. Like, I know some people would think it's just like a long line of people waiting and then one dude cutting in front like, excuse me, my uncle's a congressman, Like, if anything, that would be the antagonist. You like fist fight him in the parking lot, like, give me my benefits, like, totally love that game. The only problem with that game is that it would look like an amazing game, but it's the lag that kills you. Yeah. That's a waiting joke. I can wait on you to get it. Yeah, that's right. Went the whole extra mile on that one. I don't like taking dating advice from my parents. Anyone else like take dating advice from their parents? Like, that's the worst thing because it's like, both people, Like, for me personally, this is I could give a perfect example of why I've never taken dating advice from my family. I was in the car with my dad and my stepmom, and I just had a horrible breakup. My stepmom finally was like, you know what? I'm going to be a mom to my stepson for once, like, it's like about time, And next thing you know, she was like, look, Jake, I understand and you must be hurting. But you got to imagine, me and your dad, we've been married before. Like, this is our second marriage. It takes some time to find the one. And I immediately responded with, well, I mean, it's Dad's third marriage, but who's counting? Like, took 5 whole seconds for me to realize that my dad had never told my stepmom about the second marriage. Yeah. My dad's looking at me like I should have kept up the lie. And I was just kind of like, well, Dad, I thought if she was the one, y'all would tell each other everything. You see, that's why I don't take dating advice from my parents. They're just a bad example. All right, guys. My name is Jake Yarbrough. Again, if you want to help me out with all my endeavors, please donate to my PayPal or Cash App.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jake. That was very, very funny. Do you have any other shows coming up?
I'm doing a talk show with Ku Agenti called Comics Talking Shit on October 12th. So tune into that. That show's been so amazing. I just had I got was it Christina Quick did a musical guest spot one time on the show. So he's been reaching out past just comics as well. So he's been doing variety mic stuff and everything. So
very awesome. And if you want to know more about where you can book Jake or where you can see him next, go to jakeisfunny.com. Thank you so much, Jake. I think my name is Jules Vaquera again, by the way. I think I'm going to play y'all one more song. This is called Driftwood. Perfect piece of driftwood floating your way. Will the truth just pass you by and drift away? Or the river takes it, will you bring it to your side? You've always had the power You know how Texans feel about the Second Amendment, holding Bible so tight you think it was a commandment. But as far as I can tell, Jesus wouldn't like it much. He rejected acts of violence and he wouldn't like your guns. When you choose to use violence, you control people through fear. And people, when they're scared, they don't think so clear. And most of the time, violence doesn't even work. You beat them up and they fight back, and then the situation's worse. A perfect piece of driftwood floating your way. Will the truth just pass you by and drift away? For the river takes it, will you bring it to your side? You've always had the power, and now's the time. I'm a pacifist war vet. You're gonna hear some more of it. I'm done serving a country where violence is the core threat. When a group has the audacity not to bend to our will, we don't hesitate to show them that we're willing to kill. By group, by the way, what I really mean is people close our eyes, pretend they're faceless. We don't have to treat them equal. Is violence the only way to meet your objective? You gotta beat them down till they give up for it to be effective. Nobody deserves that. No mission is worth that. 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 A perfect piece of driftwood floating your way. Will the truth just pass you by and drift away? For the river takes it, will you bring it to your side? You've always had the power, and now's the time. Nobody deserves that. No mission is worth that. 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 Thank you. Thank you. As I said before, that is a return to form for me. That is more my typical kind of song that I write. So that was my last song. Let's bring up another amazing poet. Please, ladies and gentle thems, welcome to the stage, Lady Di.
Thank you. So for my poetry, our Mother Earth has always been a muse for me. In fact, right before the show, I decided to paint some bluebonnets on my face. It's not the season for bluebonnets, but I love flowers all year round. I'm a proud Texan all year round. So how's that?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, this one is Types of Poetic Frustration and Works of Gratitude. I tried to write a haiku for you, but it grew too long, evolving into a song wrapped around the sun and morning dew drops, and giving you props for making this the best part of my day in every little way. I tried to write you a sonnet, but almost every line on it fell short a few syllables, not to mention the intensity of end rhyme whose rules I broke from time to time. Oh, what a curse to have all these words trapped in my head when putting them down on paper has only led to poetic frustration. Oh, and I tried to write you a funny poem, but I've got pretty dry humor, so instead, let me write you a letter with all of the things I could not have said better. I wish I could have kissed you the last time we were together. I swear you are my sunshine when my mind's got awful weather. My heart is just too heavy, and again I'm stuck in bed, so I will have to show my love through letters instead. But the words I need escape me, and my sanity is fleeting too. I will continue creating all of my art for you. I can't wait to walk with you in the gallery of my gratitude. I will paint portraits of you, my muse, and sing your praises on high. I will keep on making music and sample your soft sigh. I can't wait to hold your hand again when social distancing is through. I will continue creating memories with you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. This next one goes out to anyone who's felt lonely for one reason or another, especially during the pandemic. The loneliness inside me is a house. The kitchen is filled with food that I never cooked, so who left all these dishes in the sink? More of a slob than I'd like to think. I'm buried in my living room under a pile of fast food trash. The bedroom is empty except for my twin-size mattress that keeps my tears from staining the carpet. I don't invite anyone over because I'm embarrassed by the mess. Is it worth it to fix it with an unstable foundation? The ground shakes and the lights break. I taught myself how to take my pain and paint with it. I put a fresh coat of optimist yellow on the walls to hide the cracks in my truths. The drawers holding my mementos endure 100 different shades of blue until wet paint seals them shut and the worst of my poetry is permanently stored. I beg for extra love today because I am empty. The cobwebs in the corners of my feelings I boxed away are the only reminders of the life I left behind. The loneliness inside me is a house that I visit and get locked in. I beg for extra love today because I can't breathe easy with all the guests who are dying and leaving. Every ghost has a name and a reason to remain, but I am the host I love to entertain. I will remodel. I will rebuild. This house will be filled with flowers and music and light. The loneliness inside me is a house that I only visit at night. But when the sun rises, I will approach with all surprises, with a smile and a broom, sweeping around from room to room so I can live within myself, so I can live with myself. Thank you. This last one is one that was recently published in an online publication called Words for Birds, which gets published every year. So this is called Whooping Crane. Rustling in the riparian, a rare whooping crane claims this beach and the coastal plains. This is her land 100 miles wide. Through the sand she strolls with pride. This is her bay to hunt and prey. I cannot say how long she'll stay. This is her home, I saw her nest. I hope she finds some time to rest. The envy of egrets, she stands so tall. I wonder where else she's going this fall. I folded paper cranes to hide love poems within, hoping she'll migrate back to me again.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you so much for spitting some wonderful poetry to both of you wonderful ladies. Thank you so much. And I am sad to say that this is the end of the last of these cabaret shows. It's been a lot of fun doing these with y'all. And thank you guys for coming back multiple times. And I guess we're just going to have to say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Donate to the overtime.
Yes, donate to the overtime.
Support local theater. Yes.